Hey, hey, look at you, look at you. Yeah, you, welcome, pull up a chair, lean in a bit, because I've been dying. Well, you know, I've been waiting to talk to someone like you. You walk in with that face like you're tired, but not the I need sleep tired. No. The I've been through hell and back, and everybody thinks I shouldn't even be standing here. Tired. And honestly, that's exactly why I wanted you here. Because you're the kind of person the streets can't stop gossiping about. The streets went full psycho mode over your name. Like, they were glitching, shaking, updating each other with all that fake intel. Like they were running some broken news channel on loop. They swear you didn't make it. They swear you were done. They swear your story was closed, locked, archived, and buried somewhere deep where no one was supposed to hear from you again. And yet, somehow, you're right here. Breathing in a world that said you shouldn't be here. Breathing in front of people who had whole group chats titled, "What Happened to You?" Breathing while they're staring at you like a walking plot twist they didn't approve in the script. And, you know what's crazy? You're not even trying to flex. You're just existing. You just walked in, took a seat, and your existence alone is causing emotional damage to people who swore you were gone. They already passed around the fake condolences. They already rehearsed the speeches. They already shared the "I knew them back in the day" stories. They were done writing your ending before you even had a chance to flip to the next chapter. But here you are, walking around alive, and now everybody's asking the same question. How the fuck are you still walking around alive? But you know what the real punchline is? It wasn't the streets that tried to wipe you out. It wasn't the whispers. It wasn't the rumors. It was life itself throwing the kind of hits that don't just bruise the skin. They bruise your identity, your confidence, your sanity. Hits that make you question who the hell you are. Hits that make you think maybe they were right about you. Maybe you were actually supposed to stay down. But the funny thing about you, and listen closely here, you don't stay down. You don't stay buried in whatever pit they threw you in. You don't stay trapped under the weight of what was said, or what was done, or who walked away, or who switched sides when you needed them most. You somehow drag yourself back up, bleeding, shaking, questioning everything, but still breathing like it's a personal attack against the people waiting for your downfall. And that's what scares them the most. Not the comeback, not the recovery, not the progress, not even the wins. It's your survival. It's the fact that you made it out of situations that statistically should have broken you. It's the fact that every time the world said, "You're done," you whispered back, yeah, nah. It's the fact that you kept pushing when you had absolutely no reason to. No applause, no support, no comfort, no witnesses, just you versus everything collapsing inside you. And you didn't fold, you didn't crumble, you didn't check out. You crawled through your own darkness like someone who refused to die in a place they didn't choose. You walked through nights where your mind tried to choke you out. You woke up on mornings where your chest felt heavier than your future. You kept moving when everything told you to sit still and accept the fate they printed for you. And that's why the streets went psycho mode. Because they don't understand people like you, people who aren't supposed to make it, but do anyway. People who aren't supposed to rise, but climb anyway. People who aren't supposed to be breathing, but inhale the whole room and steal the oxygen. And, let's be honest, it's not just that you're alive, it's the way you're alive. That quiet, heavy energy you carry now. That's not normal energy. That's survivor energy. That's I lost everything but somehow gained myself energy. That's the kind of vibe that makes people uncomfortable without you saying a word. You walk in, and they get chills. Not because you're scary, but because you remind them of everything they were too weak to fight through. You remind them of the version of themselves they abandoned. You remind them of the pain they ran from. You remind them of the storms they let drown them. You remind them that survival takes work. Real, gritty, ugly work. And they hate you for proving it's possible. Because if you made it, then maybe they quit too early. Maybe they folded too fast. Maybe they gave up at level 1 while you fought through the secret levels the game doesn't even map out. And, listen, you didn't just survive. You evolved. You sharpened. You hardened. You got smarter. You got quieter. You got colder in the ways you needed to. You became someone you weren't before. Someone more dangerous, more aware, more awake. And that version of you, yeah, that version is the one they didn't see coming. That's the version they thought would never exist. That's the version that wasn't in their predictions, their prayers, or their plots. And them seeing you now, alive, standing, breathing, thinking clearly, moving intentionally, is messing with their sense of reality. You're like a glitch in their timeline, a reminder that you are not someone whose story can be written by the crowd. And the best part? You didn't even do anything special. You just kept going. You didn't stay down. You didn't let the floor become your home. You didn't let the wound become your identity. You didn't let the pain become a personality trait. You could have, but you didn't. You kept moving in that slow, painful, stubborn way that only fighters understand. And that's why they're all asking the same question: how the fuck are they still alive? Because you're not supposed to be resilient. You're not supposed to be this unbreakable. You're not supposed to be this self-restored. You're not supposed to be this mentally bulletproof. And you look at them like, you think that was supposed to finish me? As if they even know the half of what you've carried. As if they even understand the nights you survived alone. As if they even know how many times you rebuilt yourself when nobody checked in, nobody cared, nobody even noticed you were breaking. You're a walking contradiction to their expectations. A living reminder that the story isn't over just because a few people wanted it to be. A living reminder that rumors don't decide fate. A living reminder that pain doesn't determine destiny. You're alive because you refused to surrender. Alive because you kept crawling when the path disappeared. Alive because you decided breathing was an act of rebellion against every force that wanted you gone. And, you don't owe anyone an explanation. Not about how you healed. Not about how you came back. Not about where you went. Not about who helped you or didn't help you. Not about why you're still here. Your existence is the explanation. Your presence is the proof. Your survival is the answer. And every breath you take is a reminder to the world that they miscalculated you. They underestimated you. They got the wrong story. They ran with the wrong narrative. They thought the chapter was the whole book. And there you go again, breathing, walking, thinking, rising, existing in ways that rewrite everything they thought they knew about you. And it's wild watching the way they look at you now, like they're seeing a ghost with unfinished business. Because, you didn't just survive something small. You survived the kind of hits that turn most people into shadows of who they used to be. And you're standing there with this quiet heaviness that basically screams, yeah, I went through hell. And yeah, I walked out. And it makes people nervous in a way they don't even know how to explain to themselves. Because you weren't supposed to come back with this kind of presence, this calm, this sharpened edge that feels like you know something they don't. Like you've seen parts of life they couldn't survive for 5 minutes. Like you're carrying scars that turned into skills, wounds that turned into wisdom. And they feel that energy without you needing to say a single word. And it's funny watching them try to piece together their own fake stories in their heads, trying to match the version of you they were rooting against with the version that's standing right in front of them. Breathing like each inhale is a violation of the expectations stacked against your name, because they actually believed the rumors they created. They believed the downfall they celebrated. They believed the finish line they placed in front of you, and you tore through all of it without giving anyone a heads up. You didn't schedule your comeback. You didn't warn anybody. You didn't tell them you were about to rewrite the narrative they tried to bury you under. You just showed up. You just walked back into your own story like someone who refuses to be written off. And you know what's even crazier? You walk different now. Not like you're trying to impress anybody, but like someone who knows exactly what they cost. Someone who knows how many storms they've crawled through. Someone who holds their own history like a weapon. Someone who doesn't get overwhelmed by small chaos anymore because you've lived through bigger storms on nights nobody even saw you breaking. And that's why your silence is loud. Your existence is loud. Your calm is loud. And it drives people absolutely insane. Watching you operate with this grounded intensity you didn't have before. You became the kind of person who doesn't flinch at things that made the old you panic. The kind of person who doesn't crumble when the world shakes. The kind of person who can look fear in the face and mumble, I've dealt with worse. The kind of person who learned to build themselves without applause, without validation, without a crowd cheering you on, and that level of self-forged strength. Yeah, that's what's messing with them the most. Because they keep thinking something or someone must have pulled you out of the fire. Something must have saved you. Someone must have helped you rebuild. Someone must have given you the blueprint. Someone must have handed you the key to get out. Because it's easier for them to believe you had assistance than to accept the truth that you dug yourself out with your bare hands. Bleeding, exhausted, drained, dragging yourself forward inch by inch without anyone noticing the battle you were fighting in your own head. And, your eyes give it away. Not the pain, but the understanding. That deep, unsettling understanding that comes from being dragged across your own limits and still finding a way to breathe through the pressure, breathe through the heartbreak, breathe through the noise, breathe through the nights that tried to choke the life out of your hope. And that's why they can't figure you out. Because people who go through that level of internal war don't come back normal. They come back different, sharper, quieter, harder to manipulate, harder to guilt trip, harder to drain, harder to break. You're walking around with a version of you that only trauma could have sculpted, only disappointment could have refined, only betrayal could have sharpened, only loneliness could have matured. And that version of you isn't here to blend in, isn't here to chase approval, isn't here to fix the image they created of you. Because you're done trying to be the person everyone understands. You're done trying to be digestible. You're done shrinking yourself to fit into their comfort zone. You're done watering down your own intensity to make insecure people feel safe around you. They're confused because the old you would have explained, the old you would have justified, the old you would have apologized, the old you would have tried to make everyone comfortable. And this new version? You walk past them without overthinking. You speak your mind without pausing. You protect your energy without guilt. You choose yourself without hesitation. And that shift alone is enough to make them feel like the world flipped upside down. And, the truth is, they aren't shocked that you're alive. They're shocked at the way you're alive. The strength, the attitude, the maturity, the focus, the resilience, the emotional armor, the way you're carrying yourself. Like you know your value now. Like you won't let anyone treat you like you're replaceable again. Like you finally see the power you were always too humble to acknowledge. Your survival didn't just ruin their rumors, it ruined their roles in your story. It ruined the versions of themselves they were trying to play in the script. The savior, the victim, the one who warned you, the one who knew you'd fall, the one who pretended to care. And now they don't know what to do with the fact that you're not only alive, but evolving right in front of them. Evolving in ways that make their old opinions irrelevant. Evolving in ways that erase their impact, their words, their doubts. And there's something about watching you in this stage. Calm but powerful. Quiet but unshakable. Breathing but dangerous in all the right ways. That's making them rethink every rumor they spread. Rethink every word they threw at you. Rethink every moment they underestimated your capacity to rise from situations they wouldn't have survived a single day in. And they're realizing, with that uncomfortable twist in their stomach, that you're not just alive. You're awakening into something they can't handle, can't label, can't predict, can't control, can't bury, can't silence. And that realization is hitting them harder than anything they tried to hit you with. And they keep staring at you like they're waiting for some kind of explanation to fall out of your mouth. Like you owe them a step-by-step tutorial on how you dragged yourself out of the wreckage they were convinced would swallow you whole. And you're standing there thinking, if you only knew what it actually took. Because deep down, you remember every moment they didn't see. Every night your mind was a battlefield. Every morning you woke up feeling like gravity doubled just for you. Every breath that felt heavier than your whole past. Every silent breakdown where you had to convince yourself you weren't crazy for still trying, for still fighting, for still believing there was something left in you worth saving. And it hits you sometimes. Not the pain, but the realization that nobody really knows the version of you that fought in the dark. The version that wasn't glamorous, wasn't inspirational, wasn't strong in the heroic way people like to romanticize, because you weren't that kind of strong. You were the ugly kind, the shaking hands, swollen eyes, numb soul kind. The type of strong that only happens when life corners you, and you've got two choices. Either you break or you crawl forward on whatever pieces of yourself you've got left. And you chose to crawl, even when you were tired of your own breathing. And, it's that version of you that they don't have a single clue about. That silent warrior version. The one that kept going when the light at the end of the tunnel wasn't even a light. It was just your imagination refusing to die. And that's why their shock doesn't shake you the way it used to. Because they're reacting to a story they made up. A downfall they exaggerated. A weakness they projected. But you're reacting from a depth they never had to reach. From a resilience they never had to build. From a pain they never had to outgrow. And that gap between their perception and your reality is exactly why they can't understand you anymore. You walk into a room and their whole vibe shifts, like you're carrying some kind of invisible gravity that pulls their insecurities straight to the surface, and you're not even trying to intimidate anybody. You're just standing there with the weight of everything you survived, the weight of every lesson burned into your skin, the weight of every time you swallowed your pride just to keep going. And people feel that. They feel the storm in your silence. They feel the history in your eyes. They feel the power in your restraint. Because surviving changes you in ways people can sense before they can explain. And, it's almost hilarious the way they whisper, like, how are they still alive? Like your survival is some kind of glitch in their personal universe, like you weren't supposed to walk into this chapter with the audacity to breathe, to stand tall, to move with purpose they thought you'd lost. And what makes it even better is that you didn't come back desperate for validation. You didn't come back trying to fix narratives. You didn't come back begging anyone to rethink your name. You came back with this calm, watch me attitude that's louder than any speech you could give. There's this new steadiness in you, that grounded type of confidence that doesn't need applause or noise or hype. It just exists, quietly, heavily, undeniably. And the people who once rooted for your fall feel it in their chest because they were counting on you staying broken. They were counting on you staying confused. They were counting on you staying lost in the chaos life threw at you. And watching you walk around with a level of clarity they never expected is tearing holes in the narratives they stitched together behind your back. And, you don't even brag about it. That's the part that disturbs them the most. You're not out here shouting, "I made it." You're not throwing your healing in people's faces. You're not even flexing the fact that you rebuilt yourself from the inside out. You're just existing in a way that contradicts every rumor they spread, every assumption they made, every conclusion they jumped to when they thought your chapter was closed and your quiet survival is louder than any comeback speech they imagined. Because you didn't resurrect through applause. You resurrected in silence, in exhaustion, in fear, in confusion, in the kind of loneliness that breaks most people beyond repair. And what walked out of that loneliness wasn't a softer version of you. It was a version that knows exactly what it costs to crawl back into your own skin. A version that doesn't bend for cheap approval. A version that doesn't negotiate its worth. A version that doesn't shrink for anyone's comfort. A version that learned to breathe without asking permission. And you can feel it in your own body sometimes. That strange mix of exhaustion and power. Like, you're still healing, but you're also sharper than you've ever been. Like the wounds didn't fully close, yet they still managed to hold this weird kind of wisdom inside them. A wisdom you didn't ask for. A wisdom you earned through nights you wouldn't wish on anyone. And people sense that before you even speak, they sense the difference between someone who read about storms and someone who lived through one without an umbrella. They sense that you're not carrying theory, you're carrying experience, and experience hits different. You walk into conversations with this calm awareness now, not the cocky type, not the loud type, but the "I've seen too much to be easily shaken" type. And it throws people off because they were used to the old version of you. The one who second-guessed themselves, the one who got overwhelmed, the one who over-explained everything just to keep the peace. And this upgraded version doesn't play those games anymore. Hey, you listening? Good. Because, this one hits a little different today. You sit there pretending you're fine, pretending you've moved past everything, pretending that what they did to you didn't drag your whole chest across concrete. But the truth is, you're not the one shaking right now. They are. And you don't even know it yet. You know what's funny? Really funny? People love to act tough when they think they've got leverage. They love to talk wild when they assume life is on their side. They love to play that I'm untouchable role, until reality taps them on the shoulder and whispers, "Hey, your turn?" And you're sitting here thinking you lost something, thinking you were the one left damaged, thinking you're the one who walked away heavy. But here's the twist you didn't see coming. Someone who hurt you, someone who thought they had the upper hand, is hiding something. Something serious, something real, something they can't joke or lie or manipulate their way out of. And you know what that means for you? It means you're not cursed, you're not unlucky, you're not the one the universe forgot. You're the one it's been watching quietly, while karma warmed its hands. See, when people harm you intentionally, they don't just walk away clean, they carry it. Even if they bury it under fake smiles, fake relationships, fake accomplishments, fake "I'm doing great" posts. Life has a way of peeling the mask off slowly, painfully, deliberately. And right now, somewhere out there, one of your attackers is unraveling. Not in some movie-worthy explosion, no. In the slow, daily, exhausting way that eats from the inside. And they're hiding it. Because they know if the world found out, it would expose everything they pretended to be. And here's the part that should empower you down to your bones. They're not hiding it because they're strong. They're hiding it because they are terrified. Terrified you might glow. Terrified you might rise. Terrified you might finally see what you always were. The stronger one, the durable one, the one who bends but never breaks. Let me tell you something real. Something you feel but never say out loud. You were never the weak one in that situation. You were the one with a heart. You were the one with soul. You were the one who cared, who tried, who showed up, who stayed loyal, who stayed human. And people mistake kindness for softness. They mistake respect for fear. They mistake patience for weakness. Until the day life stops protecting them, and they feel the tidal wave they deserve. And you're over here thinking you should have acted differently, thinking you should have fought harder or screamed louder or walked away earlier. But what you don't realize is this: your restraint was strength, your silence was strength, your self-control was strength, your refusal to become like them was strength. And now, look. They're the ones crumbling behind closed doors. You're the one still standing. You're the one pushing forward. You're the one rebuilding. You're the one learning how to breathe again, how to dream again, how to trust yourself again. And it's crazy, right? The very person who tried to break you is breaking under the weight of their own choices. Not because you wished it, not because you caused it, but because that's how truth works. It doesn't disappear just because someone lies fast enough. It waits, it circles, it returns. And you know what role you play in all this? Not the victim, not the abandoned one, not the one waiting for closure or an apology or some dramatic confession. You're the survivor watching the villain glitch. You're the storm they didn't expect. You're the version of yourself they prayed you'd never become. The healed one, the aware one, the awake one. And while they're hiding their serious problem, like it's a secret that can save them, you're outgrowing the whole story. You're rewriting your identity. You're becoming someone who no longer reacts, no longer chases, no longer explains, no longer begs to be understood. Because deep down, you know what you really needed wasn't revenge. It wasn't justice. It wasn't even answers. What you needed was clarity. And now you have it. People hurt you when they're already losing. They hurt you when they fear your potential. They hurt you when they see something in you they could never build in themselves. And the moment they touched you, they signed an invisible contract with the universe. A contract that said, every ounce of pain I cause will return to me multiplied. And you're witnessing that contract activate in real time, quietly, unexpectedly, inevitably. You're not cursed. You're not forgotten. You're not falling behind. You're being protected. You're being prepared. You're being elevated. And that's why someone who hurt you is hiding a serious problem today. Because whether they admit it or not, you were the blessing they mishandled. You were the opportunity they wasted. You were the good thing they weren't built to hold. And now life is teaching them the exact lesson they tried to force on you. And you're over here rising piece by piece, day by day, level by level into a version of yourself they could never even imagine. You're the one still moving. You're the one still evolving. You're the one still alive in ways they never were. And they know it. That's why they're hiding their downfall. That's why they're pretending. That's why they're scared to let anyone find out what's really going on with them. Because if the world knew, it would prove everything they denied about you, everything they mocked, everything they tried to destroy, everything they underestimated. You don't need closure. You are the closure. You don't need revenge. You are the consequence. You don't need to prove anything. Their life is doing the proving for you. And whether you realize it or not, you're winning in ways they can't comprehend. You're rising in ways they can't stop. You're becoming in ways they can't match. And somewhere deep inside, they know you were always the one they should have never touched. And you can almost feel it, right? That shift in the air, that weird little pressure in your chest, that quiet awareness that something changed. Not in you, but in them. Because, people don't hide serious problems unless they're scared. The truth will expose the whole facade they built on your back. And here's the part you never gave yourself enough credit for. You were the mirror they couldn't look into without shaking. Every time they tried to tear you down, it was because you reflected something they didn't want to confront in themselves. Their insecurity, their jealousy, their emptiness, their lack of character, their inability to stand where you stand with the kind of honesty you carry. And the wild part? While you were overthinking everything, they were overacting, putting on a performance, exaggerating their confidence, stretching their ego like a cheap costume that doesn't fit anymore. Meanwhile, the real them was breaking at the seams. You ever notice how the loudest ones are always hiding the heaviest secrets? How the ones who hurt you the worst are the ones who panic the quickest when life hits back? How the ones who brag about winning are the same ones whispering into pillows at night, hoping no one finds out what they're dealing with? Yeah, that's them right now. Trying to keep the image polished while their reality is collapsing. Trying to move like nothing's wrong while everything inside them screams. And here's the crazy thing. You're not even watching them closely. You're not tracking them. You're not waiting on updates. You're not checking who they talk to, where they go, what they post, who they pretend to be. You're busy healing, busy trying to understand yourself, busy rebuilding your energy, busy growing into a version of you they never believed you could become. Yet quietly, they're watching you, still even after all this time, even after all the damage, even after all the silence. They're checking if you're rising, because it scares them more than the problem they're hiding. And, isn't it wild how people who hurt you still study you like you're the test they never passed? Because deep down, they know your glow wasn't an accident. Your resilience wasn't luck. Your spirit wasn't random. You had something they didn't, something they tried to take, something they tried to crush, because they couldn't build it themselves. And now the universe is giving them a front row seat to your evolution while they're falling apart privately. That's not revenge. That's revelation. That's the truth catching up to the role they pretended to play. And you're not even chasing justice. You're minding your peace, your growth, your lane. You're minding your energy in ways that would confuse the old you. The old you would have wanted answers, would have wanted apologies, would have wanted them to admit what they did. But the version of you sitting here right now, you don't need any of that anymore. Because you finally understand something deep, something people don't talk about enough. The ones who hurt you always end up living with the weight of it longer than you ever lived with the wound. And while they're hiding this serious problem, this thing they can't outrun, or sugarcoat, or filter, you're stepping into an alignment they never thought you'd reach. An alignment where you're not defined by their betrayal, you're refined by your comeback. And it's almost poetic, honestly. They threw stones at you hoping you'd crack, but you used the pressure to sharpen yourself. They tried to bury you under shame, but you grew roots under the soil they dumped on you. They tried to silence you, but you became louder in spirit. They tried to outshine you, but they forgot you were the one who created your light in the first place. People with real power don't need to announce it. People with real healing don't need to explain it. People with real strength don't need to prove it. And you're finally stepping into that truth without forcing it. And somewhere right now, that same person who hurt you is lying to everyone, including themselves, because they know if the truth leaks, their whole image collapses, their mask slips, their reputation cracks, their fake confidence melts, their story doesn't make sense anymore. And you're sitting here breathing easier because you're no longer part of the chaos they created. You're not carrying the fallout. You're not tied to the secrets they're drowning in. You're not responsible for the mess behind their smile. And you feel it, you feel a strength in you that wasn't there before. A quiet strength, a mature strength, a strength that doesn't need to scream to be real, a strength that comes from surviving what should have broken you and walking forward anyway. And they feel it too. That's why they're hiding. That's why they're pretending. That's why they're scared the truth will connect back to the way they treated you. Because if people knew what they're really dealing with, it would expose the part of the story they desperately want erased. The part where you were the real one all along. The part where you were the loyal one. The part where you were the honest one. The part where you were the solid one. The part where you were the one worth keeping. And you're finally starting to realize that their downfall isn't your responsibility. Their secrets aren't your burden. Their fear isn't your problem. Their karma isn't your concern. And you're rising in a way that makes all of it feel like a distant chapter you no longer need to reread. And it hits you in waves, right? This strange mix of relief and realization, like, wait, I'm actually the one who made it out clean. Because while you're growing into a calmer version of yourself, they're shrinking into a quieter version of their fear. And it's wild to witness, even from a distance. You can almost feel them trying to keep their life stitched together, with shaky hands, hoping nobody notices the seams splitting. That's what people do when they're hiding something serious. They overcompensate, they oversmile, they overshare, they pretend their world is picture perfect, while something inside them is collapsing. And here's the twist that hits hardest. They're not hiding it from the world, they're hiding it from you. Because you're the one person they fear seeing them vulnerable. You're the one they can't break in front of the one they can't fool anymore, the one they can't control with guilt or silence, the one they can't manipulate with half-truths and fake apologies. You don't understand how powerful that makes you. When someone who hurt you is terrified of being exposed in front of you, it means somewhere deep inside they know the truth about you. That you were the moral one, that you were the stable one, that you were the emotionally intelligent one, that you were the grounded one, and they were the chaotic storm they tried to project onto you. And they know if their mask falls in your presence, the whole story flips. You'd finally see the reality they hid behind all that fake confidence. And that's their biggest fear. Meanwhile, you're over here learning how to breathe again without the weight of their chaos on your chest. You're learning how to trust yourself again without second-guessing every move. You're learning how to step into your own energy without shrinking for someone else's comfort. And honestly, there's something powerful about the fact that you're not seeking revenge. You're not chasing an apology. You're not looking for a moment to say, "I told you." You're just living, healing, growing, adjusting your crown in silence, leveling up in ways they couldn't imagine, because they never did the inner work to rise with you. And it's crazy how life works when you stop obsessing over people who tried to destroy you. It becomes quieter, but stronger. It becomes slower, but deeper. It becomes lighter, but more powerful. They thought hurting you gave them control, but it exposed their weakness. They thought walking away made them the winner, but it revealed their insecurity. They thought breaking you made them superior, but it showed how threatened they were by your spirit. And while you spent nights questioning your worth, they spent nights trying to hide the consequences of their actions. They spent nights replaying the moment you stopped caring. They spent nights panicking about the way everything is catching up to them. That serious problem they're hiding. It's not just some random issue. It's tied to everything they've done, every lie, every betrayal. Every moment they acted like they were above accountability. And they can't say a word about it, because if people connected the dots, their whole image would collapse instantly, their credibility would evaporate, their confident persona would look ridiculous. Meanwhile, you're becoming someone entirely different, someone who isn't defined by the wounds they left, someone who isn't trapped in the narrative they created, someone who doesn't need their validation, understanding, or closure. And the part that stings them the most is the part you never intended. Your peace is exposing their instability. Your growth is exposing their stagnation. Your energy is exposing their insecurity. Your silence is exposing their guilt. You're not doing anything to them, yet everything about you is reminding them of who they failed to be. You're the mirror they can't look into without feeling their truth crawl up their spine. And that's why they're hiding that serious problem, because if anyone knew what they were facing, it would reveal the one thing they tried hardest to deny. That hurting you didn't make them strong, it made them vulnerable in ways they can't fix, and you're stepping into a future that doesn't include carrying their shadow anymore. And you can almost hear it in your own thoughts. That quiet shift, like, wait, maybe I wasn't the broken one after all. Because the more you step back from the chaos they created, the clearer everything becomes. It's like wiping fog off a mirror. You finally see your own face again, your real face, not the version they made you question. And the part that hits deepest is understanding they're not hiding that serious problem because they're private. They're hiding it because they're ashamed. Ashamed someone might connect it to the way they treated you. Ashamed someone might realize they weren't the strong one in the story. Ashamed that everything they tried to project onto you is bouncing right back at them. You ever notice how people who cause the most damage become the most paranoid when life hits them with something real? They start acting like everyone is watching them. Even though nobody's paying attention, they start posting "I'm fine" content on social media. Like their life is a brand. They start smiling too hard, talking too fast, pretending too much because deep down, they feel that collapse happening and they're terrified the wrong person, you, might find out. Isn't it wild how the same person who tried to make you feel small can't handle their own truth? How they can dish out pain effortlessly, but crumble the second reality comes for them. Meanwhile, you're learning how to exist without their fingerprints all over your mind. You're learning how to move without hearing their voice in your doubts. You're learning how to take up space again without shrinking out of habit. You're learning how to trust your own judgment again, piece by piece. And that growth terrifies them more than anything they're hiding, because your glow is exposing their downfall. Your peace is exposing their instability. Your evolution is exposing how little they had to offer. Your resilience is exposing everything fake they built their identity on. And that's the part you never expected. You thought moving on meant leaving everything behind. But moving on actually illuminates everything they couldn't face. Everything they ran from, everything they blamed you for, everything they lied about to save face. That serious problem they're hiding, it's not just a personal issue. It's a symbol of everything they refused to heal, everything they suppressed, everything they ignored, everything they never took responsibility for, everything they projected onto you, because it was easier than admitting the truth. And here's the thing, you're finally starting to realize your healing is not just about you getting better. It's about you stepping into a version of yourself that shows how much they underestimated your strength, your depth, your spirit, your ability to rebuild without them. And while they're out there pretending to be okay, you're becoming okay for real. You're rebuilding a life that doesn't shake at the mention of their name. You're forming an identity that isn't influenced by their opinion. You're finding stability inside yourself, instead of searching for it in people who only ever gave you instability. You're not carrying their shadow anymore. You're not defending their behavior. You're not explaining their actions to yourself at 2 a.m. You're not replaying the moments they broke you. Your mind isn't their battlefield anymore. And that's exactly why they're terrified, because once you stop needing them, once you stop fearing them, once you stop caring about their validation, their power evaporates, and you're stepping into this new version of you. The grounded version, the aware version, the healed in progress version, the I'm not who you left behind version. And every bit of that growth is reminding them of the truth they never wanted to face, that hurting you was the worst mistake they ever made.